I have this 2000 Oreck XL2800, and well, it's 20 years old this year, and I think it's a great candidate for either new or rebuilt motor bearings. So let's tear down the motor and see what we're looking at. Doesn't seem to work very well. Now, ooh, that's not good. Wow. Here, listen to this. That's not good. Something is rubbing somewhere. Wonder what that is. Well, here's one bearing. Come on. And look at the awful state of the grease in this. It's just literally, it's just chunks. Yeah, so this has completely dried up, but I'm just not detecting a lot of damage. But this thing has literally just completely dried up. Yeah, that's terrible. And this other one is a slightly different arrangement, but the grease in it has done the same thing. It's just chunks. So yeah, that's not what you want for grease, obviously. Ooh. So I think I'm going to replace one of these bearings for sure. The other one, this one right here that I'm showing you, I'm not so sure it's worth it to go through the effort to try to remove that. I think I might just repack it in place. But there you go. Wow. That's what happens after 20 years. So let's get to it. So I have the motor inserted back into one part of the shell there, and because I've done, well, so many things with the comm bars, and the motor brushes have literally not been seated to this motor in quite some time. The finger spring that's in here was, shall we say, a little too flat, so the entire, well, honestly, the entire armature was kind of moving back and forth just a little bit. On this axle, it was wiggling back and forth. So everything's kind of a giant mess. Bottom line is, I'm going to run this thing in low and high speed and start it a bunch of times and see if I can't manage to use my seating stone and get the carbon brushes, which now definitely aren't seating with the commutator, to actually seat. So you should see a nice light show, I suppose, until I can manage to get it calmed down, if I can even get it to calm down. Let's see how bad this thing is. Going to start off, it's going to be terrible, of course. Hopefully I can make it acceptable where it's not shooting stuff all over the place, but we'll see. My guess is it's going to start out looking pretty bad. Okay, here we go. First test. Woo! All right, getting a little better. Motor's doing more or less all right. Everything's tight and solid. Now let's see if I can get this thing to seat here. All right, we'll try it from the back. I think I got a way in here. Yep, I do. All right, here we go. Okay, so did you hear how much higher the motor RPM went up when I got this seating stone here to do its job and to properly seat everything? That motor speed shot up. I mean, just unbelievably high. So let's see how we're doing. That is much better. All right, I'm going to see if I can't get it from this angle a little bit. I think I'm going to have to go in like that. All right, here we go. Oh, that's it. That's the noise of what I want. Nice. That is nice and smooth. And keep in mind, most of this motor is still 20 years old. So yeah, I think we made some good progress. Let me see if I can get you in just a little bit closer, and you can see maybe just a tiny bit of initial sparking when I turn the motor on, but then otherwise it's pretty sweet. It's in really good shape. Well, at least for something that's 20 years old anyway. I'm happy with it. watching. And one of the things that I hadn't mentioned throughout this video is that probably for the last year or so, this particular XL2800 started to have an electrical burning smell coming from the motor. You could definitely smell it, and it would last, pretty much most of the time you'd be vacuuming, and you would smell it almost immediately within the first few seconds of turning the machine on. Now, that doesn't happen anymore. So I'm really very happy with the results. So yay, the 20-year-old XL2800 now lives again, and hopefully for a nice long time. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.